Welcome to Five or Flop, a podcast for the best and worst historical fiction has to offer. I'm your host, Erin.
And I'm Grace, and each week we'll be reading a different historical fiction book to see if they're a five or a flop.
And this episode brings us to the end of our bonus episodes for season 5.
We are watching another movie this week. Erin, would you like to tell the audience what it was?
Yes, if you haven't deduced by movies we said we were going to watch when we were filming them.
And by deduced, we mean listened and remembered.
Exactly, which I tend to not do. But we watched Silence.
Yes, this is a pretty big deal adaptation of the book, I would say.
I would agree.
Yeah, directed by Scorsese, starring Andrew Garfield, Adam Driver, and Liam Neeson.
Mm-hmm.
And we have our thoughts.
We do have our thoughts. We also watched this one in a rather interesting environment. It was girls' night. So
classic girls' night movie.
To kick off, we had a double feature of Silence and Uglies.
Yes. For those unfamiliar, Uglies, the Netflix adaptation starring Joey King of the 2005 YA dystopia series.
I believe I had been listening to the audiobooks of this series as we were filming season 5, so I should have talked about it at some point. I don't think this was an in-between listen for me.
I think so.
But the series, I am still waiting to listen to the last one. I do have it checked out from the library.
It took forever for you to get it off of hold.
I was unemployed for less time that I was on the hold list. Same with Count of Monte Cristo.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this episode is not about Uglies, but I do have to say, books, great. Movies, maybe the worst thing I've ever seen. But at the same time, the best thing I've ever seen.
Fantastic movie. I feel like it really does ride the entertainment factor. It hits it right on the head.
Yes.
Sometimes you see a bad movie that's boring, or it's an adaptation that's just not as good as the book, but it's just kind of whatever. This is a movie that enthralled me from start to finish.
And afterwards, I got to watch the YouTube discussion of the movie. Do you watch any UnCarly videos?
No, I've never heard of her.
Oh, she does a lot of I watched this movie so you didn't have to. So she does that for this. She has a really, really great one. The first one I ever seen of her was on the Pretty Little Liars spinoff show.
Oh, okay.
That was really good. And she has a lot of Glee ones as well.
All right, good to know.
But yes, so that was the second movie. The first movie was Silence. And
yes.
We started watching it, me, you, and Sarah.
Yes, with our McDonald's.
Jen came in about 40 minutes. This is a nearly 3-hour movie.
Yes.
Jen came in about 40 minutes in. Hannah came in maybe an hour after that.
Yes.
So we have varying levels of seeing the full movie.
Yes. And let me be clear. If you did not already get this idea from listening to our episode on the book, this is not a movie that you should come in partway through.
No. And also, you should come in expecting it is dark, heavy,
torture,
sad.
Yes. Yes. However, it was very good.
It was a great movie.
Yeah. And to be honest, I did think it would probably be good because it is a Scorsese movie.
Yes.
And I have seen Scorsese movies and they are good. However, I have also seen Scorsese movies that I have not liked.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew,
famously,
it's not a guarantee.
The Departed.
The Departed. And I know that's not a popular opinion, but I just don't really like The Departed.
That is going to get a reaction from my mom when she listens to this episode.
I'm sorry to her, but
whenever you're in Boston, that's the only movie. Well, the last time I was in Boston for Christmas and I was talking about all the movies me and Santiago watched, that was the only one people recommended to me.
I just have to be me. I'm sorry.
It's fair. Movies aren't for everyone. There's a lot of, that's a movie poster one. A lot of the movie poster we do not agree with.
Yeah.
I think if the movie poster, I don't know, the recency of it. I know, Marriage Story, which is also Adam Driver, is on there. So it's a pretty recent poster.
Uh-huh.
So I will say I'm kind of surprised this movie is not on there.
Well, I guess maybe it's just when you're thinking of Scorsese, it's not one of the big Scorseses.
Yeah,
and I would like to add, I like Goodfellas and Killers of the Flower Moon. So just to make, myself a little bit more palatable to the audiences who are mad at me.
Also on the movie poster.
And see, I believe that.
And that's a great
movie. It deserves its place. Anyway. So I was just not sure because the book is not very long. The movie's about 2 hours and 45 minutes. So I expected just kind of a lot of scenery. Mm-hmm. I expected it to be kind of slow moving. I didn't have super high hopes. I thought it would be okay at least. I was really looking forward to Andrew Garfield. Mm-hmm. But actually, there wasn't a part of the movie I felt was slow. I think it earned its length and I was not enraptured
Mm-hmm.
necessarily, but I was into it the whole time.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think it followed the book incredibly closely. I don't think there was anything left out.
Yes, I agree. It would be crazy if there was stuff left out.
Yeah, and they would have had to put other stuff in, which
Yeah,
would yeah.
no.
No, I thought it was great. I thought the acting phenomenally cast every role. And it was maybe because you were seeing it and seeing the torture, it felt more emotionally charged to me in many ways than the book.
Yes, you felt really wrung out. And also, as expected, Andrew Garfield did a really great job.
And his hairdresser did a really great
Oh
job.
my gosh, yeah, he should keep that amount of hair.
He should. It looked fantastic.
Yes. But he did a good job of conveying like the inner like torture
Mm-hmm.
of his like war with his faith.
Mm-hmm.
There was one moment that I thought was odd, which was very early in the movie when they're in their first hideout,
Mm-hmm.
where the local village people ask what they're supposed to do if they get taken. And Andrew Garfield tells them, you can step on the image, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam Driver is like agog and aghast at
Mm-hmm.
him. So I thought that came a little early.
And in comparison to the book, like it takes him so long to come to that conclusion.
Exactly. So that was the only thing, but it was like a line that I think
Mm-hmm.
maybe they wanted us to set up earlier the difference between these two
I think
men.
so.
But you actually don't see like in the book, Adam Driver isn't there for that long.
Yeah.
He's there for that beginning portion. They get split up, and then you see him be murdered later.
Exactly. Yeah. There was another small part that I didn't like, but I kind of forget why it was happening, but he went to the stream at one point and he was like losing his mind, going crazy. And I didn't really like that part.
Oh yeah, he was like doing that thing where
Oh,
you've
and he
lost your
saw
mind so much that you're like laughing.
and he saw Jesus's face in the water. And they specifically used a very weird looking image of Jesus towards the start of the movie, and we all commented, we're like, that is so weird. But it was because it looked vaguely like Adam or like Andrew Garfield.
Oh
so
yeah.
they could use it for the transition in that scene.
Yes.
And I didn't love that.
Yes, it was like not exactly like, do you remember a few years ago there was that whole like meme about the woman who tried to restore the picture of Jesus and made it look really bad?
Yes.
It didn't look like that, but it didn't not look like that.
It was in that vein of imagery.
Yeah, like kind of those ones where people are like, oh, people in medieval times didn't know how to paint a person.
Yes, exactly.
So, I don't know. However, I also would like to comment that of our three main white actors, we had hugely varying levels of I am going to do a Portuguese accent.
Oh my god. And varying levels for amongst the three, and also their commitment to it throughout the film.
Yes. So Liam Neeson was like, I am just going to talk.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to do my normal Liam Neeson.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Adam Driver was like, I am going to do an amazing Portuguese accent. And to be clear, I don't really know what a Portuguese accent sounds like.
And I think that's why Liam Neeson works, is because it's not a common enough accent.
Yeah.
For me as the audience member to be taken out of it.
And I do think it is important to the story that they're Portuguese.
Yeah.
But I do think it's also kind of just like the West is colonizing the East with their Christianity. So I think Liam Neeson being a white guy is more important than like they need to have a Portuguese actor in this role, you know. But I have no idea what Adam Driver, if he like nailed it or not, but I do know it was a thick accent and he was very committed to it.
Super committed.
And I admired that because he was kind of the only one doing it. Andrew Garfield was like, I'm going to do something.
In some scenes.
Yes. So he kind of like lightened, I feel like, the end of his sentences.
Yeah.
Like he was not really heavily pronouncing a lot of letters. Like he was not coming up like a question, but he was just kind of soft spoken at the close of his
It was very interesting. I feel like I assume that would be a directorial decision, a very interesting directorial decision.
Yeah, maybe. It was like almost like if you asked him, because he's British, right? Is he British?
Who?
Andrew Garfield?
Is he?
Let me click on his Wikipedia page. Oh God. Andrew Garfield is an English and American actor. Oh dear Lord.
Where was he born and raised is
Oh,
what we
okay.
need.
His mother is British and his father is from California.
So he, even just growing up around that, like I didn't grow up in Boston, but because my dad has such a strong accent, like I, as a child, like
Yeah.
dropped a lot of letters,
Yeah.
you know?
So he's kind of halfway between. So it kind of sounded like every third word he was doing in a British accent.
Yes.
Yeah. So I enjoyed picking up on that, where everyone was very weird.
And I'm pretty sure this was the only movie I've seen him in, so I don't really know what
Andrew
his...
Garfield?
Yeah.
You didn't see the Spider-Man movies?
Nope.
Oh my god, I love Andrew Garfield.
For a long time, the only superhero movies I had ever seen was Batman Begins. But now I've seen, we just rewatched that.
That's wrong.
What?
He was cut out of the other Boleyn girl.
What?
Yes. I just clicked because I'm just like on his Wikipedia page. So he was supposed to be one of Anne Boleyn's like other accused lovers. So I'm sure in the movie they actually were like real lovers because it's not a good movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it says here scenes cut, credited only.
Oh, I remember seeing him in the credits, and the entire time we were like, who is he?
And then he showed up, he was like in the back of the execution scene, and we were like, why would they get Andrew Garfield to do this? And it turns out because they had cut him out of the movie.
You are right. I don't know if that counts for me having seen an Andrew Garfield movie before this.
No, probably not. But he was he was my favorite Spider-Man, personally.
I haven't seen any Spider-Man, but we're working our way through the Batmans, but this is a sidebar. We have only until tomorrow to finish the James Bond movies.
Oh my god, how many do you have left?
1.5. So we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
But after that, I'm like, we can't go and watch other movies. We have to lock in on the movie poster. So I don't know how long it will take us to finish the Batman movies.
Okay. That's fine. You can come back to those. Also, my last Wikipedia thing, I have the cast list here open.
Okay.
Because I would like to give credit to another actor we'll get to in a minute whose name I did not know.
Mm-hmm.
But this says here that Andrew Garfield lost 40 pounds and Adam Driver lost 50 pounds.
Oh my god.
To be in these movies. Like,
wow.
That is so unhealthy.
Yeah, that's kind of, I mean, I know that's very common in the film industry to have to like gain and lose tremendous amounts.
I know, but I feel shocking. So bad for them. Because they're skinny guys.
They should have gone on Survivor to prepare.
Oh my gosh. At least they could have gotten $1 million out of it.
Exactly. As if they need it.
Yes.
Celebrity. I would kill for a celebrity season of Survivor.
And one of the ones where they have to donate the money at the end somewhere nice.
Exactly.
Okay. Anyway, so I'll get back to my other point, which is I thought the actor who played Kishijiro was really good.
Oh, he was excellent.
He was like, now granted, it's easier to sell me when you're an actor that I have never heard of before. Because to me, I'm like, that's not Andrew Garfield. That's, Kishijiro.
Exactly.
But he was like, if you told me he was a method actor, I would believe you. Like, he really threw himself into the part.
He was fantastic.
And I don't know if he chose to do it or if the role, like, really required it. But he had so much physicality in his role.
Yes.
Like, he was running. He was doing a lot with his, like, arms and legs, like being all jerky all the time because his character is unsettled. Like, he did a fantastic job. So his name is Yosuke Kuboza. Okay, hold on. So his name is Yosuke Kubozuka. It says he is also a musician, so that's nice. But yeah, he did a great job in this movie.
Anything else? Any other movies that perhaps our audience may know?
Not unless you really know a lot of Japanese cinema.
And we do not.
And we do not, unfortunately. Yeah, everything else I have not heard of before. Yeah. But he's also done a little TV.
Okay.
Which is good for him, a little bit of stage acting. So he really seems like an everyman.
I love a versatile actor in terms of like not just doing movies. And I think the stage really like contributes to his physicality in this role. Yes. Because you have to be so much more on stage.
And there's nothing you can hide behind.
Yes.
They're not editing your best takes.
Mm-hmm.
Every actor, I think, who's worth his salt should be able to go on the stage.
Much like Jonathan Bailey. Coming up soon.
Did we do that at the time? Did we make my brother do that? Who Jonathan Bailey and Hugh Jackman should play?
I don't think we did. I asked this because Santiago didn't know who Jonathan Bailey was. Would your brother have had answers?
I don't know. I don't know that he's seen Jonathan Bailey in anything. It could be possible that he's seen that Jurassic Park movie. But I think he's tapped enough into pop culture
He would probably get
that
Hugh
if I
Jackman.
said, the guy from Bridgerton, he'd be like, oh, yeah. He knows Hugh Jackman.
More than Santiago, at least.
Certainly. But no, there's obviously more limited options in this film.
Jonathan Bailey could be Adam Driver's character.
Really?
I don't think he'd be Andrew Garfield's.
I think he could do it.
I see him more in this movie as like the really devout one.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hugh Jackman would have to be Liam Neeson.
Yeah, but I feel like often when we're assigning a Hugh Jackman role, we're like, he would have so much fun doing this.
Or I don't think he would have fun. This would be a paycheck.
No, I actually think he would be really good. Because he's a good actor. Like, we make fun of him. And sometimes we're like, oh, it'd be so camp if he did this. I actually think he would be really great in that role.
I agree.
Where he's just like resigned to his life. Another one of the things about this movie, you see like kind of acted out that chunk at the end when Liam Neeson and Andrew Garfield have both renounced their faith and become Japanese.
I liked seeing that at the end.
It was very interesting to watch. Yeah, that like transformation in them both.
Absolutely. I thought they acted that so well.
It was good to see visually because also it made kind of more sense because there was, like, in the book I understood why they couldn't go home, but there was still part of me thinking, like, why doesn't he just go home?
And what was interesting and what was you couldn't have done in the book, they showed, like, Andrew Garfield's character as an old man when he was dead and being, like, cremated. He was holding a cross.
Yes. So he secretly had it in him the whole time. And that was the lesson of the book, that like he didn't renounce his faith because he didn't believe in it. He renounced his faith because he believed in it too, like, so much.
Exactly. And also at the end of the day, like, if we're, going by like what the actual beliefs should be, like, you shouldn't be letting people die if you can stop it.
Exactly. And I agree.
So I really liked the book. I really liked the movie. I have my Letterboxd.
Please
share. I also have Sarah's Letterboxd. I gave this 4 stars. We watched this on March 27th, so almost a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Great pacing. Losing a star for Andrew Garfield at the stream, as noted. Was he silent or was he silenced? And I believe he was silenced in this movie.
Uh-huh.
Sarah gave it 3 stars, and she said, basically the opposite of the Book of Mormon.
You know what? True.
And I have not seen the Book of Mormon, actually. But, I feel like that stands.
Yeah. How long has Sarah had Letterboxd? Did you bully her into it?
I did not bully her into it. She just...
Did you request it from her?
No, she actually made it and didn't tell us she had made one. So I bullied her about that.
Okay.
But she hasn't had it... Well, hang on. Give me a second. She hasn't had it for... Santiago and I have had it for a year now.
Mm-hmm.
So she hasn't had it that long. Where'd it go? Okay. Like, she's only had a couple movies. She also doesn't watch, like, a ton of movies. Let me see. I think she's only logged, like, 5 movies or something.
I would love to hear what all the movies are.
I got it. Sound of Music, 5 stars. Without a doubt, best movie of all time. I hope she knows where I rank her Letterboxd on here. Ella Enchanted, 5 stars. Literally never fails me. Correct. Then Silence, and then something called The Worst Person in the World.
Oh, who is in that? Does it say?
I believe it's probably a French movie because it says that one of her roommates recommended it.
Oh, okay.
And then The Housemaid, 4 stars. Absolutely horrifying.
Oh my gosh. That was a very funny movie.
I still have to see it and I really want to.
Well, and now the sequel is going to have Kirsten Dunst in it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like, I think they're going to make this into a cinematic universe.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yes. We can double feature when the new one comes out. Yes. So, now I have seen 4 Scorsese movies. And this one...
Where does it sit amongst?
Maybe 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah. Goodfellas is the best one. This is pretty close to Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
And then I don't like The Departed, as I've already said. But it's also interesting because I feel like this and Killers of the Flower Moon are interesting because they're both based on books.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is, I think, very similar to the book, Silence. And Killers of the Flower Moon is in terms of the events that happen, but it's very interesting because I feel like the movie is presented from the white perspective and the book isn't.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think he got a little flack for that, Mr. Scorsese. which was not like unwarranted. Still a good movie. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world. But I saw the movie first and I was like, oh, I kind of don't really know what people are talking about. Like, I'm not sure if I agree. And then I read the book and I was like, oh, like, they're right.
Okay. Interesting.
So, yeah.
On our movie poster, and we haven't watched any of these three yet together,
Mm-hmm.
we have 3 Scorsese movies. The Departed, Goodfellas, which I've seen, but as a child, so it's been a very, very long time now, and Taxi Driver.
I've never seen Taxi Driver.
I believe Santiago really likes that one.
Okay.
If that's the one I'm thinking of.
Okay.
But Jodie Foster's in it.
Yes.
All
supposedly
right.
very good.
I'm excited for that one, but I think those are...
Do you have one that's like, once you're done with James Bond, you're up next on the movie poster, or have you not discussed?
We have not discussed. Usually it's a spur of the moment. We look it up. We decide if we want to rent a film that day or specifically find something free.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of guides. And then we kind of go down the list and just look. I really want to watch Goodfellas soon, but as I believe I was telling you and Sam yesterday, like, as we did for Gone with the Wind, making like a potluck event.
Yes.
I've really been enjoying the idea of like themed potlucks so we don't just end up with like 20 bags of chips, as you did yesterday, actually, at gymnastics.
Yes.
But I would really like to do that for Goodfellas because I think that could be some fun Italian food.
I was going to say, we're really going to have to work, I think, to diversify so that not everyone is just bringing like garlic bread.
I'd bring meatballs. Easy claim. No, yeah, I agree. Well, Hannah, we would bully her into making gluten-free tiramisu. So,
oh god, yes,
it'd be so good.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so that's the one I told Santiago, I'm like, I think there should be like a couple we do like events for, like offer viewing parties or whatever.
That sounds amazing.
So, another one that I think might be fun, and I think would have group interest in watching, My Fair Lady's on the poster.
I've never seen My Fair Lady.
I haven't either. I believe that one's Julie Andrews, yeah?
No, famously, there was drama about that because Julie Andrews played the role on Broadway.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. And then they didn't offer it to her. It went to Audrey Hepburn.
Okay.
But then that year, Julie Andrews won the Oscar for Mary Poppins. And so she went up to make her speech and said thank you to the guy who casted My Fair Lady.
That's what it was. Okay, yeah, I knew she was in it. But...
Yeah.
All right, I think we're at that time where, speaking of Julie Andrews being cast on Broadway in My Fair Lady, are we revealing the season 6 theme?
I think we are. And by that, I mean we had to discuss before whether or not we do this.
As we do
point.
Every single bonus episode finale, we always have forgotten if we reveal the theme or not. But I think we've agreed we reveal the theme.
We reveal the theme. If anyone looked at our Storygraph reading challenge, I'm sure you guessed it because it's an easier one to guess than Friends and Family, which, to be clear, we did not expect anyone to guess.
No.
But, Erin, would you like to say what it is?
All the World's a Stage. We are reading historical plays.
Yes, and you might think, do they have those? And the answer is yes.
And you can get a sneak preview if you go on Storygraph and subscribe to our reading challenge and see what some of those are, but we had a fun time picking them out.
Absolutely. So we've got a smattering of some musicals in there too, mostly just plays. So you're going to have to tune in a couple weeks to hear what our first one is.
Exactly. And in the meantime,
happy watching.
Bye.